What's up, everybody? Welcome. Today we have a special topic. This is going over basic subspecies differences. And we have myself, Thomas. I'm with chondrohub.com. And we have my friend Gage.
Hey, how's it going? Arboreals by Bunn.
Awesome, awesome. Nice little collab we're doing here. And today should be a good one. Uh, we're definitely planning to gear this episode to be a very introductory, simplified version to go through some different species, subspecies of the green tree python. And we plan to provide quite a bit of pictures, examples, our thought process when we're looking at the different subspecies, and just a quick overview of everything for people new to chondros.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, we were gonna do locality differences, but it seems like you might as well get, even more basic of a topic is just explaining the different subspecies because there's a lot of variance between localities, but we're pretty certain you have a safer your odds are with you as far as marking it down to a subspecies. Gonna have a way easier time with that, you know.
Yeah, definitely. So let's jump into it. Let's check out where Indonesia is. First off, where are we at, right? We're right here. Well, let's head this way. Oh, what do you know? We got Indonesia right here.
On the
So
other
we got
side
the
of the
good
planet.
old mainland. Yeah, exactly. We got our beautiful PNG right over here. We have our Papua, and then we have a whole bunch of islands. And this is where Google Maps labels Indonesia. But we're more concerned with this area, all in here. Um,
That's where the good stuff
so
is.
just a quick little, yeah, where the good stuff is. Quick little geographic overview. This is the Bird's Head Peninsula. The Bird's Head, and we have the mainland, is what we refer to. You see here, there's this huge political border separating PNG from the rest of Papua or West Papua. And before we get into the actual classifications, I want to make mention of this huge mountain ridge that kind of separates this whole landmass from north and south. And that's important because a recent, I forget what year it was, but there was a species subspecies delineation, and it broke, further subdivided green tree pythons because chondro, if you're interested, chondro python was one of the very first names for this species, and that's where chondro comes from. But now we have a little bit more scientific nomenclature, and we have basically what we have: the Morelia viridis, southern uh, species, and then we have Morelia azurea, and then we have within that uh, we have Morelia azurea pulcher, Morelia azurea utaraensis. So I'll bring that up in a moment once I can find that picture. Let's see here. Mm-hmm. So, Gage, why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself?
Well, I've been keeping reptiles for quite some time, but as far as green tree pythons go, and I really, I like to mention like, how much time I've had with them opposed to like everything else because it's a very different very different. Like, I can't compare keeping green tree pythons to keeping chameleons, keeping ball pythons, scorpions. Like, it's in its own bracket entirely. Um, but I've been keeping green tree pythons from roughly like 2013, 2014 is probably when I had my first one. Got a few of them back in those days, all imports, no doubt. Arus, Beox, Jayapora, just a lot of the stuff that you see today was still common and prevalent back then. And it wasn't until 2019 that I got a pair of Lyra. The male passed on me, and I picked up a male sarong, kind of in place of that. I didn't even know about subspecies. I knew that there were different localities, but I didn't know about different subspecies. I really didn't know like how different the snakes were. I just figured it's the same snake in a different place. I didn't think there was really too much different. I've seen differences, but didn't know anything like that back in that time. But yeah, I got the snakes. I literally in 2023, like I had been keeping them successfully for quite some time. There's a male and a female, so I was like, well, I mean, I've kept them alive for like over 5 years. She's obviously within breeding size. I'm going to Google how to breed green tree pythons, and in my own way, they don't tell you what to do like what I did exactly. They say to cool your snakes down a little bit at a time, until you reach 68 degrees, and then to keep them like that for a while. So, I came up with my own methods but basically I did just Google how to breed them, and I had,
Nice.
a few people kind of walk me through the process. But 2023 is when I hatched my first clutch, and
Oh yeah.
that's where I entered the game, and I still didn't know the difference between subspecies, and Bruce Carpenter is the one who taught me,
Nice.
so that's where we are now. 2025, I got 3 pairs. So, 2 of them look like they are working on some eggs. They're either working on some eggs or about to reabsorb. And then I got another female that's still in her reproductive cycle. She's favoring the cool side, so we'll see what happens. 3 pairs.
Nice. Oh yeah, man. Fingers crossed. Let's do it.
Fingers crossed, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, and a quick tidbit about me. Maybe some of you have seen my posts on the Facebook forums. Quickly gaining some lovers and some haters, but it's all good. I am newer to Chondro, so I've been keeping reptiles for on and off 20 plus years, but got into Chondros this year. Got my first Aru type, or I'll just call it an Aru Chondro at the Tinley NARBC in March, and it was surprisingly easy to keep. And we named it Oscar. He's gorgeous. I love him. And then the bug happened. The addiction started, and I'm up to 7 Chondros. I got a little bit of everything, and yeah, I'm just super excited. I am learning a lot. I'm researching as much as I can, and I plan to just dig deeper, grow my knowledge, grow my skill with the species, and eventually breed them. But I love the localities, and I love certain designers. But yeah, it's a pleasure to have Gage here. Arboreals by Bunn. He's bred. He's had successful offspring produced, so he definitely is way ahead of me. So I'm excited to be working with you, and let's get into the topic.
Happy to be here.
Yeah. This is an image from that scientific paper I mentioned, and I'm gonna show and give credit to those authors. But here we see Indonesia and PNG, and we have the mountain range,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have these four classes. So the green is illustrated as the southern. Even though you have this section here, just ignore that for a minute. We have all the green here, and we have this Aru Island, and that's Morelia viridis. Morelia viridis is made up of, or at least widely viewed, containing the Arus, the Maruki, and then the Australian. So I believe Maruki is down here somewhere. One of these, I could pull it up. But you see those three different areas, and we'll get into pictures of those localities. Or eventually, we're going to start talking about more phenotypic appearances, and not necessarily the names of some of the export cities. We have Morelia, azurea. And by the way, I may be pronouncing things wrong. Everyone has their own pronunciation, and I know there are certain ways to pronounce something more like how the Indonesians would. But we have the Morelia, azurea. This falls into the northern, and we have our Biaks. That's a common locality type. There's a few different islands here, but Biak. We have Morelia, azurea, utaraensis, this yellow shaded region. This is a highland region. And we have the Cyclops mountain range, and we have the Jayapura type. And there's some other phenotypes within there, but those are two big ones, especially like what you'd find on the current marketplace, like for Morph Market or online. And then Morelia, azurea, pulcher. We have the Bird's Head Peninsula, and we have a lot of sarong and manakwari phenotypes. And here we see this comes in towards the mainland as well. So this study that they did, I forget exactly how many animals were sampled, but the researchers took blood samples, did DNA analyses, and this is how we found differences and similarities, and they further subclassified Chondro python, and then Morelia viridis, and then the Morelia azurea, and then you have the three azurea, the utaraensis, and the pulcher. So for this, let me show you that real quick here. If anyone wants to see where I'm getting this information from, this is published in this Molecular Phylogenetics and Evolution, and it's the species delimitation and systematics of green pythons. Excuse me. So credit to Daniel Natusch, a very respected researcher. Thank you for your work, and thank you for the knowledge. And this is where you guys can find all the fancy science. Yeah. So Gage, I'm gonna take it to you. What do you want to start with? Do you want to hit up Morph Market, or would you like to check out that one website that kind of goes through?
I think Morph Market, because it'd be if we're trying to help out the people that are new buyers, I mean that's the place they're going to go to. We can look at the current pool of animals to go through some of the differences we see and see if we can't put them in a class, like kind of ignore what the name is and see if we can't, I mean, sure, we're going to see it, but don't let the name sell you. We'll look at the animals and we'll be like, okay, yeah, they say it's a Jayapura, and it's a Jayapura because,
Yeah.
So
let's do it. You lead the way, man. Why don't you pull her up? Hit it.
All right. So this one was just listed. Let me go ahead and refresh the page. I put any availability, so we're probably going to see some older posts as well.
Okay.
Actually, just for now, I'm going to take off any availability so we can just see the current pool of animals.
Gotcha. Do you mind sorting it by lowest after this?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
lowest price.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's smart because all the VOX will be at the top.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, can you see this on Steven?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, we're looking at this. Okay. All right, so right off rip, looking at the eye band and MA pulcher, you're going to see a single stripe in the eye band. I know we
Okay.
don't, we only have this picture to go on, but
Yeah, so like
just one thin stripe.
one horizontal band running through the eye.
Yep.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, look at the tail. When they say it, I mean, that's a red maniquarry, you know?
Yep. Yeah, so with the maniquarry type, remember this is MA pulcher, and this is off the bird's head. If it's a maniquarry phenotype, it's typically, I would say, a lot nicer because there's a lot more blues, and then they're more of a mountain type. So in this example, I think it's a beautiful maniquarry.
Oh yeah, that's a good looking snake.
I love that blue dorsal. I love the outline of the blue, and then there's like the almost like the lateral fade and speckling of blue.
Yeah,
But
it's a
like you
good
said,
looking snake.
yeah, and like you said, going back real quick, the maniquarry, um, that tail is black.
Well, it's marbled.
Marbled. Yeah, I was gonna say
So
black, but blotchy.
yeah, I was gonna say, like,
Marbled.
my sarong, in comparison to this tail, is pretty dark, but either way, either way you slice it, this tail has more black on it than you're gonna see on a Jayapora, than you're gonna see on a Lyra, than you're gonna see on any Uratensis. Like, there's no doubt that we're looking at a pulcher, and I mean, from what I mean, yeah, I think it's a maniquarry, but definitely a pulcher.
I agree because it's like you said, black, but almost more marbled black.
Yeah, there's variants, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's just all like I do. I've looked. You look at a lot of these animals, and you just notice that, like, a lot of the ones that say sarong, their tails are like almost entirely black.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. In Greg Maxwell's book, he references Freak Newt, and they mentioned the sarong tails always pigmented with black or dark blue, as what he observed. So I think it's safe to say a lot of black or black marbling is pretty common in the pulcher.
My maniquarry tail looks like this one.
Yeah. Yep.
Where it's like, almost slightly like pointy at the end of it, or it's like kind of like thins out a little bit, and it's got marbled.
Yep, exactly.
That one's a yellow neonate.
Yeah, so definitely, what would you say, because of that, where the ventral scutes meet the lateral side, all that yellow?
Well, I mean, you can definitely have a red neo throw something like this, but there's multiple tails. There's multiple tails. The yellows, it's mainly the shape. There's a few different things. You can look at the eyes. You can look at, because it's pretty yellow for an eye. Like, if the eyes are like more yellow, like the snake was yellow, so the eyes will retain more yellow. The sides of them will retain more yellow. The blue stripe tells me that it's a yellow. Like, the way that this this dorsal lateral, like, you know, if it's just one of those and like, yeah, whatever, but that like these are all typical of a yellow neonate, you know.
Okay.
I don't see any lateral that looks, you know, like this right here. This is yellow all day, all day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And obviously it is, because look at the offspring.
Yeah.
You know, we got a yellow from it. So,
Exactly.
you know, if it was
Yeah.
two reds, you probably wouldn't have had any yellows. You know, if you did, it wouldn't have been many. But yeah, there's some telltale signs here. You normally don't see a solid like blue stripe with the diamonds. Normally, if it's a solid blue like triangle on the stripe, like, you know, I've seen that more typical with the yellows.
Gotcha. Yeah. So for newer keepers, newer hobbyists, there are neonatal colors of green tree pythons. We have red and yellow, and with pretty much every subspecies can have red or yellow except Morelia viridis, which is the southern. Those are the Aru type, the Merauke's, and the Aussies, and those are pretty much all yellow neonates.
Yep, M. viridis only comes in yellow.
Yep. So if someone's trying to sell you a Maruki or an Aru and it's a red neo, probably ain't an Aru.
It's a Biak. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but so these are some pretty good examples of some maniquaries. But yeah, let's keep it rolling. I mean, there's a lot to look at. That's the thing is, so you know, I'm relatively new. I look at chondros like I think we all do. Anyone who loves the animals like obsesses and looks at them a lot. So the more examples that you're able to analyze and look for trends and formulate your own theories or model or framework for what the animal looks like, that's going to help you. So don't just look at a few examples and just be like, I know it all. No, keep learning, keep refining, keep talking to other people in the community, and sharpen your skill, your chondro skill.
You might have to pull the tab up for me.
Okay. Here we go.
All right. So I did as you requested, and I sorted it by the lowest price, which put all the BX at the bottom or the top, no matter.
Most affordable, technically.
Most affordable. If you have $400 and you'd like to get into the green tree python, the Biak is the way to go.
Yeah,
that's the way to go. All right. So you know, first things first with the Biaks. You know, from what I've seen, the tails are always like black dip tails.
Yeah, it's like you took the snake and just give him a quick little dunk.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's, you know, it's very solid. Yeah, okay, making sure we're on the right screen. Another thing is temperament, you know. Good luck finding a chill Biak. There's not a lot of photos of this one, so there's not a whole lot to go on.
Yeah, so one thing about the I did want to go, well, we can go back in a minute because we were briefly talking about that, but I'm sure we'll kind of hit on everything. With the Biaks, I had some extra notes. So I've had a Biak. He didn't do so well, but who knows exactly why. Definitely a strong feeding response. Anyone who keeps Biaks knows this. These guys are bitey, not really bitey, but you want to be on your toesies when you're around Biaks, and it's after 3-4 o'clock because they will.
I was walking 4 feet away from her enclosure, this Biak female, and she struck it. You know,
Yeah,
not even close to it at all.
They'll strike at a shadow, I bet.
Yeah, they're it's like it's so weird, man. I was gonna feed them earlier than I intend, like because I'm trying to bring on the food, kind of cycle them a little bit. And it's like she knew. I don't know how to explain it. She was about to get fed sooner than she normally does today, and yeah, she is hungry. She's striking on the glass. All plastic.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, so definitely they're pretty solid feeders for that feeding response, and they're affordable. But the thing is, yeah, their temperament. I mean, in general, I would say chondros are pretty much a display animal. They're not your ball python that you're gonna hold or let just pass it around, let kids hold. You could handle them very briefly, like if you're maybe looking at it or taking it out or doing something care related. But I don't ever really handle my chondros unless there's a reason. I'll just take the perch out, do what I need to do, put the perch back in. I'm not trying to stress the animal out. Um, but yeah, the BX can be a bit nippy. They do come in red and yellow neonatal colors, and you can get into chondros, yeah, with BX going to be your lowest price point.
It's your
Um,
lowest price point on reds too. If you're trying to get into the reds, because
exactly.
of their appetites, they're a first stop for the people who are trying to outcross their lines, or if they're doing a hybrid project, even from the ground up. Biak might be a good mix in just because of the appetite that it brings. They might be a little mean what they eat.
Oh, exactly. Um, and then even with the BX, you can have yellow, and then you could have almost like an orange phase, and you could have like a bright red and a dark red. So there still is even a spectrum of just kind of what the neonates look like. But once again, it's going to be very common uh, subspecies, or just we'll call it locality type, but it is Biak Island, so it is very easily recognized, the Biaks.
Yeah, and they take a lot longer to go through their OCC. you know
Exactly.
Whereas like this Biak might be like several, well, it probably is several years old, still has not gone through the full OCC. Whereas one of my Uratansis to a pulcher, it was completely green just barely over a year.
Oh, exactly.
so
Um,
so some, like Uratansis is known for having somewhat of a fast OCC.
yes, yes. Um, when
What?
oh, I guess one other reason why people really like Biaks too is they get pretty big. They're probably one of the larger types of chondros, and females, they're prolific breeders. The females can have pretty big clutches. Um, I think 20 plus eggs if you're lucky, if it's a big mama biak. But here's an example Gage pulled up of a chondro that pretty much went through its OCC, and it's a biak. And I think one thing that I want to mention is one characteristic about the head. Biaks, most all Biaks will have some form of a yellow stripe or bar or mask on their face. Um,
Yeah.
it's it's pretty common in Biaks, and you don't really see this as much with the MA animals.
Yeah, you can see it. And a lot of people, it's debated that it's like, how do you say, it's an area where the animals rub. So like that, there's a theory that, like,
Oh,
animals.
coloration. They regenerate probably.
Yeah. And like, well, they're rubbing their heads there, and it's, for whatever reason, it's causing it to, and I don't know, I somewhat believe it because I put animals in different enclosures and they had areas like, okay, for instance, like I have a mister in the enclosure. I take the mister out to where there's a hole there, and I wasn't really aware, like, wasn't really thinking much of it. But after I had that hole there, the snake developed these yellow markings, like on her head. It wasn't even a full mask. It's just like if you were to, poke your hole into a hole, poke your little snout into a hole and kind of like try to get through. It's like that's the area that it would rub, and that's the area where she has yellow markings, if that
Okay,
makes sense. So,
gotcha.
and I will say the the Beox, like they rub their head weird right at that spot when I've seen them shed. They
Yeah,
really do rub their head pretty weird right at that spot.
gotcha. Um, so yeah, but I mean, look at this animal. I mean, $700. It's a pretty big boy. Um, wouldn't I would guess that snake is gonna try to light you up if you try to touch it. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's the fun about it.
All right. So look at another example of a Beox before we
Yeah,
move on. They only have one picture,
I
but
know.
still, we got the blacktail here,
Yep.
and we got a lot of the yellow still in it. Um, they retain a lot of the yellow. They don't retain as much of the red or the orange, but when they're a yellow Beox and they're turning to green, it's pretty much a green and yellow snake for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. If breeders who kind of like to go with the high yellow route, sometimes Biak is preferred, but the Biaks have a lot more of the lateral yellow blotching or like washing, and you'll be able to see this. They retain that coloration for years and years, is what I've been reading, and what I've seen on a lot of these older Biaks posted. They can have a lot more of the blotching. Um,
It's got some black scales coming in too.
yeah.
All right. Oh, all right. Well, let's look. Oh wait, hold on. I forgot. I have to do this. There we go. Holy cow, huh?
Yeah, that's a nice Saru.
Yeah, you see these marks right here?
Yep.
That's kind of like in the place where my Jayapora female has like the yellow.
Yeah, so where the chondro is most likely to rub during shedding.
Mm-hmm. But
Yeah.
yeah, these are beautiful animals, man. He says high white. They're also high blue.
Yeah. So if we talk about the Aru type, like we had said before, so they're southern, they're Morelia viridis, and the Aru, it's an island form, and they are more of a calmer, more docile temperament. Um, they're characterized by white speckling on their dorsal. So whereas the Marukis almost have a pure, like a straight white scalation down its dorsum, the Aussies have a similar look, but the Arus will have almost like white rosettes, white scales intermittently along the dorsal, broken up, and some of them can have a lot more blue and blue splotches and some lateral blue coloration as well. So the Arus are just, I think, a very naturally beautiful animal. And the yellow Neos, here they're one of the more tricky ones to get established. So if you do buy an Aru, I would make sure that if it's a yellow neonate, that it's been established and that it's had a good amount of meals under its belt before you pull the trigger and pick up that Neo.
Yep. And as far as trying to tell if you've got an Aru, well, like you mentioned, they only come in yellow. They have black tails, black dip tails, and I know you can't probably say it for all the cases, but pretty consistently, I'll see a really thin line for a lateral, like down the spine. Instead of being in a triangle shape, I'll notice they'll have a few that are just a horizontal stripe when they're a baby.
Okay, so yellow neonate, well,
it'll be straight across on both sides, I guess is a better way of putting it,
Yeah.
Instead of being like back and forth, like they'll have some that are just like a straight line.
It's a line that's crossing the spine and it's making an intersection.
Yeah. So let's see how many other ones we can find.
Yeah.
A Aru.
Well, you have to see what breeder that person was. Just make sure it was a different Aru, but they're on there. I notice I see a lot more Arus coming out of Europe. I don't see as many posted, or maybe not as many people working with them here in the U.S. I think Brian Latimer works with Aru. Mm-hmm. So does Ryan Young. He's working on high white. Both good breeders.
Didn't get all the pattern in there, but I still see a few of the horizontal.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. I have to look at more of them, but yeah, I get the characteristic you're identifying.
Black dip tail. So, like, when I see an animal like that that says young Aru, like okay, I mean, it looks like a young Aru. Now let's go to. I'm gonna try to see if we can't find one more. There we go, baby. Yeah, I mean that one's clear as day. So, yeah, with the Aru, not all of them will look like this, but this is one of the phenotypes where it's pretty much you have a line, but it's a line of blotches, a lot of white blotches just going straight down.
Exactly. So that those white scales kind of in clusters along the dorsal, and it's not a continuous full stripe, but sometimes they could be very, very close together. Some can be almost enough to resemble like a Maruki or an Aussie, but
yeah, they're more uniform. Yeah. But it's still not as straight as a Morocco. Like right here, yeah. This is the straightest line on this Aru.
Yeah. And it's still broken up. It's all, segmented. So
yeah.
But yeah, if someone is trying to list or sell a Aussie, Australian, it's not Australian because they don't allow exportation. But there is a chance you could find a Maruki. They do get posted once in a while, but pretty much the only Morelia viridis that you're going to really come into is the Aru. Hi.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be it for a brew.
Yeah.
All right. So let's jump back and we'll start looking at some. Let's see. Take a look at this.
Do some utaraensis, or which one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we got MA, utaraensis. Everyone says it a million different ways,
Yeah.
but
It's the one with the U.
The U, yeah. Alrighty, so go ahead, Gage.
Well, yeah, I like this for uritensis. I mean, the head shape, the eyes, the tail, the stripe, everything about the snake says uritensis to me. There's absolutely no markings on the tail. You can have a little bit of something, but uritensis is it's pretty much like no black on the tail at all. You can see some, like a little bit of something on the red ones, but if it's a yellow neo, shouldn't be anything on the tail at all. So yeah, that's it's a good example of a uritensis. Probably a cyclops. It's probably a cyclops. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
it's it's a tough one because
it is a tough one.
I think I think the better way is to show like the extreme, like the best phenotype, and
Yeah.
then go from there because
You could find a Jayapura that looks like that.
Yeah.
Like,
so
very close to that.
But just knowing the features that shout out that it's MAU or utaraensis, like the tail coloration, the head shape, you look at the dorsal, you look at what else about these guys? Really. Sometimes, I mean, this is hard to see in this photo, but is there a very faint light blue dorsal marking or not really?
Yeah, there's a dorsal.
There's like a really light blue, right? Like,
oh yeah, you can see the dorsal. That's how I could ascertain that it's a yellow.
Yeah.
The dorsal shape.
Now,
but either way, localities aside, it's it's an uritensis.
Yeah. You keep Jarpara, and you also have Cyclops?
Yes, I have Cyclops, I have Libra, and I have Jayapura.
Okay, with the Jayapura and the Cyclops, do you feel that they behave kind of similar, or do you think they're just two completely different snakes, or like, do you notice any behaviors that are much different from do you have Biox or Aru?
I don't have Aru. I have everything but Aru, pretty much. Not when I'm subspecies wise,
Yeah, but so what I'm saying is, between your Yarpara and your Cyclops, do these guys act differently?
I keep them the same. They act the same.
Okay. Yeah. So, and I think that's the thing. It's like really the biggest outliers I've observed is really the island forms, and it's really the Biox being super defensive or strong feeding response, and then the Aru being super calm.
Yeah,
not always. Not every snake's gonna be like that, but
Biox had definitely been some trouble.
Biox are.
I haven't really known Aru to be too calm though myself.
Yeah. I mean,
I've got some dick ones.
Yeah, I guess every snake's different. But yeah, are there any good postings of if you find another good example of a Jayapara, and then let's find a Cyclops. So let's see this guy. And what does that show the tail on there somewhere?
It doesn't. It kind of like, but not enough.
Because this guy,
Yeah, you can kind of see the tail.
yeah,
What you don't see is black on the tail, which is good. You know, if I'm looking
exactly.
at a post, like obviously I would probably ask him for an additional tail picture just to make me feel better. But if we're looking at a few different pictures of the tail from different angles and you can't see any black on there, you know, that's good. If we can assume that there's no black on the tail, then yeah, I like this for a yellow neonate Jayapora.
Yeah, yeah, I
You
would
know,
agree. I would agree. And then uh, other thing too is because the tail didn't have black, you wouldn't you wouldn't confuse it with like a sarong or something. You know what I mean? Like it'd be a lot harder to
exactly.
yeah. So cool. Any cyclopses like some nice cyclops on here because that'd be cool to go over. So the interesting thing while we're finding a pic is that the Cyclops refers to Cyclops Mountains, and then Jayapura is an export city. So some of these animals in the region, the northern species, they can be found or collected anywhere on the island. And if they're actually coming from a mountain or a higher altitude versus maybe lower down on the mainland or the bottom of the mountain range, the phenotype might differ. So Jayapura's like it could technically be like lower elevation or non-mountain chondros, and maybe they look a little bit different, and that's why we see the variation in the phenotypes.
Yeah. Well, and again, I know we're trying to stick mainly to subspecies, but you know, if you know, and I haven't seen as many cyclops as I have some of the other stuff, you know,
Yeah,
but I would say that cyclops are closer to Lyra than both of them are to Jayapura in terms of how they look.
yeah,
You know, I think Lyra and the cyclops look closer to one another. Um, their dorsals seem to be shorter, like the dorsals don't go out as far, and there seems to be more of them pressed within a you might even say like cyclops might even have lever built or might have lever built or beat on how many that it's cramming in a short place, you know.
oh yeah,
See like
yes,
how it's like littered.
yep. Well, one thing that I see on the phenotypes that I like within some might call them cyclops. The the blue can be really defined down the dorsum, and then the diamonds can be really really pronounced and really wide, and or like a bluish greenish hue. Now this might depend on whether it was a yellow or a red neo,
Yeah.
but oh, you know what? There is a post. Can you find that one posted by AJM of that Cyclops? I think it's listed for like 1900. If you skip ahead to like around that price, that's a really good pheno. Yeah, there we go. Very good pick. Hi. So like with this image, I'd say I'm a utaraensis, and look at this dorsal, like just how pronounced that it's like a powder blue, and then look at those diamonds, how and they're kind of like outlined with blue. Um, yeah, it's one of my favorite locality types.
And a completely clear tail as far as you know,
Yeah,
if it's not, you know, if you could see like some like tiny bit of like dark scales, but like because it is a red, you know, you might expect to see a little bit of something on it, but
yeah,
it's pretty much just a green tail, you know.
exactly.
So yeah, I definitely like that for a red neocyclops, you know.
Oh
Let's
yeah, I would agree. I I mean, that's a beautiful looking snake.
Yep. And it's got the hollow triangles, so that doesn't always mean red, but you're better. The odds are with you.
Yeah. What is it? You want to be on camera? The dog wants to be on camera. Honey? All right, give me 1 sec. I'm just gonna let my dog out. So let's see here. I don't want to mess with anything right now. All right, hold on. I'll be right back. Yeah, I got a Cyclops, and it's a male. It's a cool snake. It's my Facebook icon. It's gonna be a logo, so it's a pretty neat snake. Quick story about it. We named it Fiona, and it shed plugs out, so we're naming it Shrek now. The wife, we decided to name him Shrek.
Makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Staying with the theme. All right, what's next? We want to look at that. Yeah, let's look at that Neo, that Cyclops Neo. Yeah, killer. I love. Oh, these snakes look alien to me. They're so cool.
Yeah, no offense to anybody, but that's, in my opinion, the best. As far as current morph market Cyclops, red Cyclops post, this one's the best one on all of morph market right now.
Yeah,
Cyclops.
It's a beautiful snake. It's a real nice. So, is that listed as the dam?
It's by default has to be the dam with how blue it is.
Hormonal blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of them are reds, and both of them are great expressions of the Cyclops. So, yeah, that's a fair number in my opinion. Like, I'm a broke guy, but if things are different, hey, I already have a female, so it's
yeah,
you can't go wrong. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you buy it, ends up being a female, you're gonna be sad about it. But
yeah, exactly.
All I'm saying, yeah, it's a great snake.
Go back to the click on the sire again. So look at this it's very like a very tight powder blue dorsal line, and then you have your diamonds, and they're almost like outlined, and then look, some of them are like almost replaced by other color scales, like the yellow and the white.
Yep.
But you still have like those pronounced like triangles.
Some people call it flowered. Like flowering. Does your Cyclops kind of look like that?
It does, but I think it was a yellow Neo, because the blue is a little more faint, and the diamonds are not. The diamonds are not pronounced like this.
Gotcha.
But it does have some white, like white flowers almost, but none of the other surrounding characteristics. So, but yeah, I would say it'd be more closer to this look than go back to the dam. Yeah, like you could see just how this must have been a stunner before she went hormonal.
Yeah, to be honest, I think it probably looked a lot like this without the white. Like, these are two different phenotypes because of how much white is being expressed.
Exactly.
Like the Cyclops that I have actually looks a lot like this, like where the white is like on it, like it looks a lot like this expression, my girl. Yeah. But I believe whenever, if God willing, I get to that point and she does go to hormonal blue, I think the female is going to look like this, but the white where it's going to be, But like
Exactly.
when the whole snake goes blue, not really going to see the stripe anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, I love them. I just think they're so cool. This is personally my favorite name for any of these chondros. But
I know I can't believe I didn't buy it. Like, I don't know why the hell I bought the Libra. That was just such an odd name,
yeah,
It's like I have been in green tree pythons before, but like I had never heard that name, and I just told myself, I was like, hey, if the name sounds the strangest, if it's a name you haven't heard before, it must be rare.
yeah,
So it was between Libra and Cyclops, and I almost got like one of each, and something told me is like, you know what, just get 2 Libra, get a male and a female. And I wish it would have worked out, but I still have the female, and she's giving me 3 healthy offspring, so I'm happy about it.
yeah. That's awesome, man. Like, and I still think that was just a solid catch because like I don't see Lyra hardly ever like posted. So I know they're out there, but I feel like I've seen a lot more Cyclops now, or at least maybe more people.
Cyclops is more common,
like getting more common,
like
in terms of like
the Lyra that people get in. I'm not always so comfortable with like it just the Cyclops that I see in today's market, like when it does come in, like I don't like usually question it. Like it looks like a Cyclops, you know what I mean? A lot of the Libras that I've seen like come in didn't really look like Libra to me,
Exactly.
So I will say that.
Gotcha. Okay.
I did want to go back to this real quick.
Yeah.
Because and we could totally be wrong, but I want to shed some light on this. All right, so we're the first time snake buyer. We like green tree pythons. We're gonna come on here. We see it says Jayapora. We're like, okay, it's a Jayapora. Like I'm gonna buy it. Well, when's the last time we've seen a Jayapora with a tail like this?
True.
Especially for being a yellow neonate.
Yeah.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, congratulations, you have a sarong. And I wasn't going to put it so bluntly like that, but I saw who it is, and I thought it was CK, and I like CK. I don't know these guys, so no offense, but I don't mind telling them that you got that mislabeled right there. That's not a Jayapora, that is a sarong.
Yeah.
And it's not even like hard, it's very, very easy to tell. Even the head shape and the eyes, to me, says poker.
Yeah, and also the other thing too is like it would be way less likely to even say like the fact that there's black in there. We don't see any like variation of black in
not a yellow.
In utaraensis.
Not on a yellow. You're not going to see any black on a tail of a utaraensis yellow neonate.
So MAU. So if there's black in the tail, you better shift to pulcher, and then you're gonna So then you at least know it's bird's head. So that's the thing, and this is such a subtle thing. Like for newer keepers, people just looking to see. It's not an easy find, and like you almost have to do a double take.
We were going over this post ourselves, trying to go over the differences. Notice it at the time. It wasn't until I was going over the differences again today that I looked at it and I was like, holy shit, this is not a Jayapora after all, because I was trying to tell you why it was. And what's funny is I actually looked at it and I guess Jayapora when you know what I mean, like it doesn't really look like a Jayapora, when you look at it, especially like it just doesn't, you know.
Yeah. Give me 1 sec. I'm gonna grab my dog. If you want to pull up another image, or yep, I'll be right back. Okay. I'm back. Oh, here we go. Yeah, this is one I've looked at a lot.
Yeah.
Is there a tail picture on this guy?
Yeah.
There's a video actually, but yeah. Come on, bro. Show that tail. Yeah,
Yep.
beautiful.
Urtensis.
Yeah, so
Cyclops.
Cyclops. So I also was gonna say is like I feel like the blues in the dorsal of Urtensis look a lot more powder blue to me, like the way I see that blue, versus the Maniquari blues or the blues of a really nice sarong. It's not like a dark blue, but it's more like a medium, or like the shade is darker.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's a lighter blue.
It's a lighter blue, yeah.
Oh,
you're good. You might have to represent it. Or, well, if you're good, you know what? Can I show? Let me do this real fast. I want to show this guy's site because he's part of Chondro Hub, and he's part of a lot of the Facebook forums. And I love this site, and there's awesome information. So let's give him a quick plug and look at some of the images. But let's see here. So chromatic chondros. It's chromatic-chondros.com. Shout out everything to this gentleman. But he has an awesome site, and he's got this resources tab which goes through localities and different things. But if you check out localities,
be right back.
All right, you can pull up. He goes through all the different looks, and for example, if we look at this Biak, you can click to his site. It's awesome. He's got like Biak Island, and he's got the Morelia, azurea, the Biak, talks about it. There's an example of a pretty badass looking Biak. And look at that black tail. Beautiful. Here's some neos, reds, and yellows. You can see the variation, the differences in the phenotypes. People love Biaks because when you outcross them to designers, or cross them with designers, you get a lot more variable pattern and speckling, and they kind of just shake everything up. It's like putting something through a blender. So that's the Biak. But if you click here, he's got other awesome localities. Rue Islands. You can see right here, this is the yellow neonate, or really it's just a neonate because there's only yellow neo Aru. And yeah, just a stunning animal. And once again, here's another one of those just like super straight, intersecting, perpendicular markings. But here's what we really came to see. Beautiful Aru. Look at the dorsal on this Aru with the white scales and some blotching, and then look at the blue, kind of the bordering in black, and then the blue speckling. You just see some awesome Aru.
About to say those are the Arus you wish you could get.
Yeah, I have my Oscar in sunlight. He looks like this. He he's got the blue, man. He's a stunner. I got some good videos on Instagram.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I lucked out. I picked him up at a Tinley show at the Tinley show, and I think it was there. I don't know the guy's name. It's an importer. It's a distributor or somebody, but it looked healthy to me, and I took the gamble, and yeah, he's a stunner. Then we got the Cyclops. So super neat to see this like geography and stuff on his site. But talks about the Cyclops Mountain, and then we have here's a beautiful red neonate Cyclops. Here's some adult. You can see that blue dorsal and those like triangle diamonds, and once again another kind of different phenotype too, with a lot more melanism in this one.
It looks to I don't know. I've seen snakes that get a lot of UVB kind of look like that.
Yeah.
So I would not be surprised if I were to learn that the snake has been introduced to a lot of UVB.
To see if it has any change in the dorsal scales, or it affects the OCC or anything.
Well, they get UVB out in the wild, so people try to offer it to them in captivity, and a lot of times they overdo it.
Yeah.
And when you see a snake start to like, I don't know, like really darken up, like I'm not saying every dark snake, is UVB or whatever. I'm just saying that like there's a certain like dark green that like seems to happen whenever they get exposure,
Yeah, it definitely
like I've seen other snakes that have like that. See a dark green stripe?
Yeah, you're talking about this big boy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how it's like happening elsewhere too. Like I'm just saying, I would not be surprised if either it's a pheno that you just don't see, or it's too much UVB exposure. I don't want to say too much. I don't know if that's the right word, but it could be UVB exposure.
Yeah. I don't know. That's definitely something that like I need to learn a lot more about. I know Bruce Carpenter has done some work or studies with UV, but I don't know if there's much research out there on it. So that's where it would be very interesting to see in some of the forums or on chondrohub.com, like people sharing data or information about their personal findings. Like if someone kept some of their chondros with UV, some without it, and just kind of observed to see if there's any difference, or they ran a clutch.
If you know anybody that's keeping their snakes in setups with a lot of UVB, you can look at them, and that's also what I'm taking into consideration is you can look at people who keep their snakes in setups with lights.
Yeah,
they'll darken up like that,
Yeah, and
I'd say be on the lookout. Try to see if you. There's a lot of snakes out there. A lot of us aren't keeping lights on them, but for those who are keeping UVB on them,
is there any correlation?
Yeah, I'd be. Wouldn't be surprised to learn there's a correlation.
Yeah, exactly. So then the Jayapura, here you can see the export city right here, a little bit of what it's like northwest of some of the Cyclops Mountains. But so look at this yellow neonate Jayapura. So what was it that you were saying again? The bow ties, or the amount of saddles?
The saddles, they start to you could there's more space in between the saddles, in my opinion, from what I've noticed, like looking at pictures of Jayapura, Lyra, Cyclops. There seems to be more space on the Jayapura. Like you know, maybe the first few are close together, but if the further back you go, like it starts spacing out. I've noticed the drips tend to be a little bit longer, you know, a little bit longer on the Jayapura. You know, like
Yep,
they cover more of the snake. They reach out further from the stripe.
exactly. Yeah. I think I forget if it was Maxwell calling them bow ties, but whatever you want to call them, those squigglies, drips, bow ties. Um, you
Yeah,
can
I've
see them.
heard them called so many different things.
Yeah. And then we got, let's stick with what we have been talking about, the maniquaries. Here you see the bird's head. See this big ass mountain. I mean, look at that elevation change. And then here you got maniquari. So, yeah, you know, you would think these snakes might have a different pheno than some of these areas. There could be a difference in prey, difference in climate, difference in, you know, how the animal develops. And maybe that's why we see some badass maniquaries and just how wild they're looking. Um, love the dorsal, the diamonds,
Yep.
and then I mean, this is like wow, wow.
Yep.
That's a
That's
gorgeous.
especially if that's not like a female going through the hormone of blue. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, exactly.
like if that was a boy, like be like, holy cow.
Exactly. Let's see. Sarongs. Now there we go. So this is a great example. So like look at this snake. We can't see the tail, but look at the dorsal and the amount of bow ties and drips and a lot. I think in addition to this, the yellow and the white kind of scattered scales. There you might be able to see it better. And look at the axis of how the bow ties lie. They're like at an angle. They're not straight perpendicular. So those are things that I've noticed about sarongs. I wish this had the tail picture so you guys could see that as well. But yeah, so I love this guy's site. And then what else? Let me do this real fast. I think a couple pictures. Let's see. Okay, so this posting. So labeled as maniquari pair. There is no tail in here, right?
Yeah, no tail pictures.
So it says it's produced by Vitaly Romanov. Yeah, I would really want to see that tail to help solidify that it is a maniquari.
There's a single eye band, and the
Well, that's true too. So
the stripe does kind of lean towards at least
pulcher.
MA Polker.
Yeah,
It's
so
MA Polker.
pulcher
That
for
tail
sure.
picture would definitely help out, but
Yeah.
you know, you can't. You know, there is a pretty. You can still see that band.
Yeah. Yeah, so that one band and then exactly the yeah, it would be helpful to see the tail. But so there's that, and then I think there's one other one that's a good example to kind of like as you're looking at ads, as you're seeing snakes, determining, you know, like what's what. Uh, it's good to use these tips and tricks. Just especially if you're trying to do pure locality stuff, you know, you want to kind of try to get a certain phenotype. Good little hacks here and there. Let's see. Cyclops here. So here we have, okay, so they label it as a yellow cyclops. Tail, green, what, green and yellow tail. Yeah, I mean, look at the tail. This, I don't think that's black. I think it's hard to tell. I think it's green. I think that's like a green with like a...
It's, I mean, it's like a different shade of green. Like,
yeah,
there's definitely a difference, like on the end of the tail. Like, it almost looks like it starts where an MA poker tail would start. I don't know. Like, either it's not a great expression of a cyclops, especially if it's a yellow neo and not a yellow neo cyclops. You'd like to see a full blue stripe on. But the tail is weird. That tail is weird.
It's weird because on this end it looks way more yellow, but then there like are a couple spots that almost could be black, and
it could just be the picture, I suppose. But like there shouldn't be a difference between here and here.
Yeah,
I could pull out any of my urtansis and the end of their tail, as far as yellow urtansis are concerned. The yellow that is not gonna, you know, like that's weird. In my opinion.
So that's hard to tell. I'd have to ask for more pics, different lighting, just to make sure. But let's see here. There was like a couple other ones. Did this have a tail on it? No. Can't see the eye very well, but it does have that nice tight blue dorsal. You can see the diamonds. You can see they're almost outlined. The flowering.
Oh yeah. If I was better set on funds, I'd probably grab that, you know.
Yeah, especially, I mean, it wouldn't hurt too to have is it a male? A male, yeah.
Well, I already have a female, so
then yeah,
you know, I'm not in a rush for a pair, but the sooner you can get a pair, the sooner you can acclimate the two of them together, because sometimes, you know, snakes they need to get used to each other, you know.
Well, you tell me you're a female, and then we're good.
I only waited 2 years.
Yeah.
Spent all that money.
That's what I mean. Like, it's like you're fucking waiting for shit. It's like, God. And then that's what happens. Everybody just has like one or the other, and then like that's where all the snakes are, and that's why no one's breeding them. Yep. I
tried to find somebody out there with like a red Libra male so we could do a pure pairing, you know.
Yeah.
I couldn't find anyone.
Well, one way or the other, it's like, hey, universe, you know, here's $5,000. Either buy my snake for $5,000, or I'll give you $5,000 for your snake, so I could have a pair. Like, geez, because then you could actually breed it and make more of them. But, anyways, let's see what else we got here.
I think snakes are assholes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, the longer I stay in here, the hungrier they're like appearing. It's like they think that I'm gonna do something for them right now, and it's like, dude, not getting fed.
Yeah. Let's see. There was a yellow cyclops I think posted that I wanted to look at real quick, because did you see this one? Did we look at this one? think maybe that's what we were looking at earlier. Or did someone buy it? Maybe someone bought it. It was Mark Miles, but I don't remember. Oh, the Cyclops. There we go. So this is tough because it's a yellow to me. This would be tough for me even. A yellow Neo. Call it a Cyclops. It's tough because there's no other pictures. Is there a better eye picture? Okay. You could see, would you call that 1.5 bands? I don't know what you want to call that.
That's a thick band.
Thick band, but then you have this as well. So
Yeah.
could that be a giveaway that's at least a utaraensis?
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah. As long as we're not looking at a pulcher, we're good.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, you have that tight dorsal. You've got a lot of crosses. So yeah, definitely interesting. Let's do one more Biak real quick for the hell of it. There's some nice snakes on here. If I only had a little more money. Okay, here we go. So we got this listed as an adult female Biak. Let's see what we got. Can I zoom in on this? Oh, here we go. All right. Right off the rip, a lot of yellow in here. A lot of yellow blotching. That's a melanism too, like over here. That's a big head. Like that snake is.
Yeah.
It looks
typical Biak shape.
hefty. You know what I mean? Muscular, long. He doesn't list the full size, I don't think.
That might be another interesting thing to do. I know it's like obviously, yeah, hey, show the difference of the skulls,
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, like I have like certain, like I have snakes in the freezer. I don't know if I have one of each in the freezer, but it's like I wonder how many differences you'd see comparing the heads, like the skulls of the snakes,
Well, like if you looked at how do we do this? Because there would be some really good examples of some big big snakes here. Hold on. Start getting down. A lot of designers, beautiful snakes. So I had to go way down. The prices were a lot better back in the day.
No, they were not.
No, really?
Like so you could get some really, really good designers like for a good price. But
the locales were still high?
Yeah, it's like I'm pretty sure certain localities were still pretty high.
All right, these are some good examples. I'm just going through picking out some good examples here. Get some stuff pops up here and there. All right, we'll do one more page here, and then I'll go through a couple of these here. Actually, this is a good example. I lied, one more. And then, sorry, then we'll be good here. Oh, here we go. All right, let's do this. Here we go. So, all right, look at this. Sarong, high blue. Holy crap. That's a lot of bow ties.
It's
That's
a good looking snake.
It's a good looking snake. It's a lot of bow ties. It is like a lot in a short amount of time, a short amount of space. Gorgeous animal. I like that. Then we're gonna get into this this great example here. This is a Maniquari phenotype of a MA pulcher. Look at that blue. Look at those outlines. It's kind of like that lime yellowish green. You can see here the sire.
I like that shade of green too often.
Yeah, that's a gorgeous sire. And then look at that dam. Look at that hormonal. But just look how crisp and how yellow in that diamond. Beautiful Maniquari. I think this is Gary. Yeah. So,
yeah. Do they have tail? Do they have any tail pictures too?
No, but gorgeous.
I just like to see them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But no, it's a beautiful snake. Then let's go to the next one. This is a Cyclops pair. It's a little harder to see because you misted the animal, I think. But very tight blue dorsal. You got like flowering. You got like speckling, like little. What I would say should be diamonds, or like a triangle, but some yellow scales in there, but very few, just like a couple spots. But utaraensis, and then this is going to be an interesting one because I want you to tell me. Let's think about this one because this one makes me think. What do you think about this guy?
What do you mean as far as?
Do you think it's accurately listed?
It's a Cyclops Jayapora.
Yeah. So that's what I say. He could have labeled it as a Cyclops if he wanted to, but it's definitely utaraensis.
Yeah, I mean, it's without seeing the parents, it's hard for me to tell.
Yeah.
And I can't see the tail.
It's a very light powder blue.
The eye says irritansis to me. The stripes, stripes a little unique, but from what I can see, I mean, I don't see anything that really strikes me as odd. I mean, it's a
nice
locality mashup, so you could get some cool stuff that comes out of that,
Yeah, it's a pretty snake. And then we got this one, which I think you see this a lot more. That tight blue dorsal, and then you got like the small half diamonds, kind of staggered.
Yeah, those are pretty cool.
Those are cool. I like that. And then last one here, a killer example of a Morelia azurea, and that's a nice biak. That's a thick, elongated, wide head at the base of the neck. and it's got that nice yellow patch bar on the face. You have lots of blotching of yellow throughout. You also have like black dorsal tipping along the spine.
Which is pretty cool.
Beautiful chondro. Also, look at that tail. Look at that
Solid
black tail. So, there you go. Just gorgeous animal. Who's this? I don't know who that was, but that's pretty. Red Neo. Wild caught. Wow.
That's how you throw out some good stuff, Just plug it to a Biak.
Oh, 100%. Well, why don't we start to wrap up a little bit? Do you want to... Oh, hold on. Oh, here we go. Would you like to show everybody your site? Just do a quick...
Yeah, I can do that.
He's got a pretty good logo. He's got some really cool stuff.
Yeah, we're working on one for the channel for Chondro Hub too.
Yep.
All right, let's see. Share screen. Arboreals. Yeah, so this is the website that I made. At the top of the website, it features...
Oh, sorry, hold on. It's not up yet. There we go. Okay.
So at the top of the website of Arboreals by Bunn, it features a snake going through its OCC. This is JO 2012. It's a snake produced by James Obdahl. It's got a lot of TW blue line in its lineage. That's why he's actually, that's the same snake that I made the logo out of.
Nice.
Affectionately known as Caraxes. But yeah, I got got my site. You can call me, text me, email me. I got my Instagram, my YouTube, my Facebook, my Google. I have my merchandise as well. Whenever we get your logo right, I'll show you how to set this up,
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a dope logo. You got the what? It's the pitcher plants next to it as well?
Yes, sir. Those are my favorite plants. And eventually I'm going to try to work with some plants here and then work them into the enclosures and stuff as well. So, you know what? I was like, I'm going to make a baller logo and I'm going to include some stuff that's personal to me in it. So that's how this all came to be.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I love the catchphrase.
Yeah, I ripped it off from King of the Hill.
Yeah.
Just like, I sell propane and propane accessories.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's killer. And then you got a really cool Instagram too. You got some nice YouTube content. You've been putting out some good stuff.
Yeah, I appreciate it, my friend. We'll definitely get some stuff going for your channel too, make an intro. I know a lot of musicians. I'm sure you do too. I'm sure you know at least some. So, I'm sure between the two of us we can find you a good intro track,
Oh yeah, for sure.
My buddy played the music for mine,
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, and honestly, he's pretty cool. Like, I'm not, obviously, if enough people were asking him for intros and stuff, he'd probably charge them. But like, for the most part, he's pretty cool with just letting people use his music, like just as a way for him to find use out of his hobby.
Nice. Oh yeah, awesome.
Yes, sir. Between you and me, I'm gonna have him play me a metal version of the King of the Hill intro, and I think I might replace that.
Oh yeah.
For my intro music,
That'd be dope.
have a bunch of friends in the Chondro dojo,
Yep.
Arboreals by Bunn. Just like get them all in company t-shirts and walking around,
Yeah.
like and speed it up, have them do tasks, make like my own rip off of the King of the Hill intro, you know.
Yeah. Oh my god, that'd be hilarious. Nice little damn. So you ever see there was a show called it's a Netflix show about two comedians from Detroiters. It's literally called Detroiters, and it's about these two horrible advertising agents who make like commercials for people, but they're so bad that it's funny, and it's a pretty funny show. But it's like we'll be doing, you'll be doing ads for people, just like making funny ass stuff. But yeah, do you want to show? You got your Instagram, right? You want to show that?
Oh yeah.
And snake accessories.
The whole thing, but if they want to see the rest of it, they can go to it,
Oh.
Okay, we can't play it because of the music, but you guys can, get a bunch of stuff, content here. Everything links back to green tree pythons in some way or another,
Oh, that's interesting. So wait, some of those videos you can't. Instagram won't let you play.
Yeah, it's because you're streaming, so it's a smart, it's
It
like
won't.
it
won't play copyrighted music.
Exactly.
Wow, that's interesting. Well, I mean, is that your Cyclops? Oop, up, left, up. Keep going. That one. Yeah. That's nice, man.
Yep. I'm really happy with that expression,
Yeah. And that's what I mean. Like it's just different. You know what I mean? Like it's not. It's just a different phenotype, and it's just, not a biak. It's not an aru. It's not a pulcher. It's its own thing, and that's what makes it different. Cool.
Oh yeah, man, I'm loving it. Can't wait to get a male cyclops, and it's going to take her a few years to get to the size that I want her to be, and patience does pay off in this. It's like if you want to breed her the first time that she's ready to possibly breed, you might not get anything good, but if you wait a year or two after that, she's going to put you out a good clutch, and the rebound is going to be a lot better, like for her. Like not only will you get a better first clutch, but she's probably going to live. She's probably not going to get slugs, and on the next go around, she's probably going to produce another good clutch for you. Instead of a bad clutch and then maybe another bad clutch. Like you wait for them, for you.
Yep. What size closet rod holder are you using? Like the
those are
the side mounts?
I could find it's just the one you go to Lowe's and get. You know how you go to Lowe's and there's like the standard the standard closet pole
like
mount.
that.
And then it comes with the screws that I screw in there.
Oh really? Okay.
So it actually comes with those. And then I just cut the PVC to shape. I am working on larger perches, a lot like the smaller ones that I'm making.
Yeah.
Because I would like to be able to detach them if necessary. But, it's really it's really not necessary. Like, it's not anything I have to do. It's just, it's like, if you're able to, if I can pull it off, it'll be, people will love it. So
Yeah.
I'll try it,
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna do one of these setups for my female mutt. She's just a locality cross times like Biak, Sarong, Cyclops, Maniquar. I think she's got everything in her. But really, just so I got a 200, I think a 200 quart clear sterilite, and I'm gonna do that same thing with like 2 long horizontal perches, side heat, and I'm gonna use probably paper towel or puppy pads on the bottom, but I do like the moss. I do want to try that, but probably not with her. That's a nice snake too.
That's the Jayapura. You see the marks on her face?
Yeah,
She didn't have those when I got her.
those two yellow.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, those like rub.
Yeah.
Those marks. Yeah.
She didn't have those when I got her. It's not until after I put her in an enclosure with the hole for the mister that she developed that. So that's why I think it has something to do with the rubbing.
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean,
I'm not even the person to suggest it to me. It's just after somebody mentioned it to me. It's probably Bruce who told me. I started paying attention to that, and I mean, I've seen some stuff that leans to probably credit that more than discredit it.
How often have you seen it too, though? Like, if you talk to breeders or keepers who've had their USCVB, and then do they notice any changes based on how their husbandry is for snakes, and if more of them develop the yellow spots or not? That would be great support for it. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some people might be aware of it. Some people, it's like, once you ask them or tell them about it, they might be able to think back and be like, you know what? Yeah, now that you mention it, maybe,
Yeah, straight up.
Or they'll just be like, nah, that's just coincidence. Maybe they'll be able to debunk it.
Exactly. Awesome.
But yeah, man, it's 1 a.m. my time. I gotta take my dogs out. I gotta hit the hay.
Yeah, here, give me 1 second because I want to do one thing, and then we'll end it. I just want to do this. Oops. All right. All right, and there we go. Real quick, I just want to bring this up. If you haven't subscribed, haven't joined the site, chondrohub.com, free to join. Basically, think of it as it's the new updated forum, but it's the classifieds in here, free to post. And we have a live chat room Thursdays. It's just a great all-around place for husbandry information. There's different spaces in here giving information about, like, hey, where to get what type of products, chlorhexidine. I got my quarantine set up. This is a tip I learned from Gary Schiavino about these guys. Some books to read if you haven't read this Julander book or the Greg Maxwell More Complete Chondro. And then I got a list of different YouTubers right here. This is Gage's YouTube channel. Be sure to check out his channel, subscribe. Some links down here. And then other people's posts, but some featured breeders here. I got some gorgeous, if you're newer, one day. Me, one day. But look at these snakes. Gorgeous. And so Dave D said I could post some pictures of his animals and just killer stuff for designers. But yeah, chondrohub.com. That's awesome. We're just kind of getting started. And yeah, I hope to keep growing it. You can post your classified ads for free. Buy and sell chondros. Breeder directory here. I list pretty much every breeder for every state known with links to their Instagrams. So Dimitri's right by me, Art of Chondros. He's got some killer stuff. Here we go. Art of Chondros, Dimitri. So if you're a breeder and you want to be involved, you want to be listed, reach out and let's see. Sorry. Just reach out to me or come to chondrohub.com. It's free to sign up. You can get listed in the breeder directory, or if you want to be a featured breeder, let's talk. But yeah, I have a locality discussion here. So there's some posts. This is my Cyclops, and then my Aru, and just some cool facts and more video links and things. So yeah, definitely we're very grateful for anybody watching this video. And I really am grateful for Gage for his knowledge and his help with this episode.
Yeah, likewise, man. Chondro Hub is awesome. I'd like to help you grow it.
Yeah, and
do my part.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, I think that yes, there are a lot of people on the different Facebook groups, and there's still a lot of awesome information there, but there are some cons to where you can't sell your animals whenever you're.
The groups are divided too. It seems like I'm on a lot of the groups on there, and it seems like certain groups of people interact with each other. Like it's kind of like at lunch, and everyone's sitting with their own tables. It's like maybe Chondro Hub, we can bring all the tables together. Maybe have some people who normally wouldn't discuss things with each other, maybe get them to talk, or at least are on the same platform. Let's see if we can't get everyone together, and the common denominator, chondros.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean it's it's one big community, and the goal is progressing the hobby and learning more about these snakes and being able to be better breeders and produce more and grow the enthusiasm in them and just have fun. So if we can have a place where it could be a little bit more neutral and objective, and we could all be constructive with each other and just kind of grow, I think it's needed. It's needed in the hobby, and it'll help to unite us a little bit better, because reptiles in general, I mean, there are still a lot of people who don't like snakes, don't want people to own snakes. There are different areas trying to pass legislation against reptiles, and got to support USARK, and you gotta, we have to keep our hobby strong, keep people interested in these beautiful animals. I mean, I've learned so much and got to use so much of my knowledge of biology with understanding some aspects of these snakes and breeding and whatnot. So we're definitely very grateful for everybody who tuned in, for your time, and please be sure to check out Arboreals by Bunn. His website, his Instagram, and then swing on over to chondrohub.com. Sign up if you haven't. It's free. It's free to post ads.
Yeah, and sign up, guys. Get in there.
Get in there. We need more people because we want to support each other, and just make it easier. I mean, I post so many different links and different tags and whatnot, pointing people in the right direction. Someone says this, and I'm like, well, I don't know, I haven't encountered that, and I'm like, hit up this breeder, hit up this keeper, just trying to help out. I'm learning. I think everybody's learning. There's some awesome breeders in here and people with a lot of knowledge, and so yeah, it's definitely something that I'm passionate about. So come check it out. You can always message me anytime, and next episode will probably be I don't know. I mean, I know we want to do another locality episode, but one that hits a little bit more different phenotypes. But we could do anything. So wherever we post this video, please comment on it. Give us suggestions. Give us ideas. Things you want to learn more about or hear more about. We'd love your feedback. We want to know what people want, and we'll make it, and we'll do our best to give answers or give references or shoot you in the right direction.
Yes, sir.
All
right. It's a
right.
great time to join because tomorrow's the talk. So join up.
Join up, yeah. All right, guys. Have a good night. Peace.
Hey, have a good night, and thanks for having me, man.
Definitely. All right, Gage and community, take care.
Peace.